Myself Professor. Hello, myself Professor Dr. Vilas Kanthare. Let us we will see the experiment on balancing of rotating masses. The aim of this balancing of rotating masses is to balance the rotating masses statically and dynamically, and also to determine the angular position of this unbalanced mass and its magnitude. Then how it is to be balanced? So let us we know. When any machine, it consists of a number of parts or the elements in which the rotating as well as the reciprocating parts are present. During their acceleration and retardation motion, it is subjected to different types of forces. Now, so which type of forces? That is the static force and the dynamic force. And due to these forces, again the inertia force will be induced in it, or which are acting on the different parts. And therefore, it is essential to balance this inertia force or this unbalanced force. Otherwise, our machine will be vibrating during its working condition or during its function. And therefore, so we can observe it's the uncomfortable condition, or sometimes the unpleasant noise maybe comes from the machine. And therefore, in order to avoid, so the balancing is essential or is necessary. So in the low speed application or the moderate speed application or the high speed application. Now let us, so in order to get the some concept of the basic fundamental about this balancing of rotating masses or the reciprocating masses. Now in this experiment, we are only seeing the balancing of rotating masses, not the reciprocating masses. Now, in order to get some idea about these rotating masses, let us, in our experiment, we are taking 4 masses with a different magnitude. Suppose its magnitude is m1 is in kg, some value is different, m2 different, m3 and m4. And all these 4 masses are mounted on the shaft, because there is one shaft in our experiment. So this shaft is fixed between the 2 bearings, and in between these 4 masses are placed at some equidistance, or it may be different distances. Its distances, it may be measured from one of the reference plane or from one of the mass. You can select any one mass, there is no problem at all. Suppose, so these are the m1, m2, m3, m4 masses which are placed at a different place. So these are the different places. This is the plane number 1, plane 2, plane 3 and plane 4. Okay. Now its distances are denoted, that is L2 for mass m2, L3 for mass 3 and L4 for mass 4. And now why? So where is the L1 distance? Now L1 distance is considered as a 0, because so we have considered, so this plane number 1 in which the mass m1 is placed is considered as a reference plane. And therefore, so when we are considering that it is a reference plane, then it will be considered as the 0 distance, means L1 will become a 0. Now whatever may be the left hand side of this reference plane, it will be denoted by a negative sign, whereas in right hand side will be denoted by positive sign. And therefore, now so why this reference plane is to be considered? Because the cumulative effect of this inertia force or the unbalanced force must be transferred to one of the plane, and that's why it is essential to fix up one of the plane as a reference plane, or we have to consider one of the plane as a reference plane. So that's why, so accordingly I have made this arrangement. Okay. Now again, in order, so and it's an angular position. Now whatever may be these m1, m2, m3, m4 masses are there. Now initially, so we can take it's any angle, because the customer's as per the customer's requirement, he may give the order to you. So the masses are fixed, its angular position are fixed, and then we need to analyze this kind of system. If this system is as per their data, if this system is not balanced, then we need to balance it. Now how it is to be balanced? By calculating or by determining its angular position as well as its magnitude of the balancing masses. So means we should try to find out the value for the balancing mass, and at which place or at which location and in how much angle it is to be required to be placed. So therefore we need to calculate these 2 parameters. So therefore now as per the given data, so I have constructed one more diagram that is called as the angular position diagram. So mass m2 with the angle theta 2 is equal to 0, then theta 3, so for mass 3, then theta 4 for the mass 4, and theta 1 for the mass m1 mass. Okay. Now So these are the different angular positions as per the angle given by the customer. Okay. Now once we have constructed like this two diagram, that is the position of plane and the angular position, then so in order to get some particular idea between the balanced condition and unbalanced condition, for that purposes I have drawn two tables, that or I have taken two different data, that is for the balanced condition and for the unbalanced condition. So let us we will see for the balanced condition. So in order for the analysis purpose, just I have prepared the one table. So that is serial number. These are there are 4 masses. Therefore there are 4 planes, means because 4 masses are placed in 4 planes. Then the mass of each masses, that is M1, M2, M3. Its magnitude is given 181, 191, 204, 207. So these are the known masses. These are the known masses. And again it's a radius. Radius means that is the distance from the axis of rotation to the CG of the respective mass. So all the masses CG is remain same, that is 0.18. We have considered same here. So that's why I have written as it is. Then you can calculate its centrifugal force. As we know, when the shaft is rotating, then these rotating masses will be rotated, and which will exert the centrifugal force during its rotating motion. And therefore, according to that centrifugal force, so this centrifugal force is equal to, that is, so M into R. So and as we know, mr into omega square, but here omega is considered in all the condition, it will remain same. That's why I have not taken this omega here. Otherwise we can calculate the omega is equal to 2 pi m upon 60. Therefore only we will calculate the product of centrifugal force, that is mr. Now likewise, so calculated this centrifugal force for each mass. Now I have fixed the distances from this reference place. I have defined the distances of each mass from the reference place. The first mass is placed at the position of 0 distance, then 30, 60, 90. Now we will attach these masses as per these distances in our experiment also. And then again we will, so as we know, so due to these inertia forces or due to these unbalanced forces, the couple may be induced in it. That's why again we will calculate the couple with the equation, that is mrl into omega square. Again we are not considering omega square here, so only we will consider the product, that is mrl, that is the force into the perpendicular distance. So by doing the calculation, so these are the values. Now these are the angles. So whatever we had drawn the diagram, that is the angular position diagram. Angular position diagram, that one. So that is a theta 2, theta 3, theta 4 and a theta 1. So that angles are nothing but, that is a 200 degree, 0 degree, 25 degree and 187 degree. So that's why I have considered theta 2 is equal to 0, then the theta 3 is equal to 25 degree, then the theta 3 is equal, theta 4 is equal to 187 degree and theta 1 is equal to 200 degree. That's why it is coming to the last. Okay. Now so similar. Now whether so because every time we need to validate the system. Now how it is to be validated? So by theoretically or by analytical approach and by experimental approach. So this is the analytical approach. Now so in this analytical approach, in order to get the idea about the balanced condition, that's why so I have constructed the force polygon and the couple polygon, and let us we will see if our force polygon or the couple polygon is coming close to the diagram, then we can conclude that our system is balanced. So it is clearly seen from this diagram, from this force polygon, that is from centrifugal force magnitude and from this couple, and after constructing the diagram, so these diagrams are seen as a closed diagram. Therefore we can conclude that the system is balanced as per this angle, as per these distances and everything. Okay. Now again, in order to get the idea also about the unbalanced condition, so for the unbalanced condition everything will remain same, only I have changed, so only the angular position of these masses, the magnitude of all these masses m1, m2, m3, m4 will remain as it is, and only I have changed, that is its an angle, that is 200 degree, 0 degree, 25 degree, 180 degree. Instead of this, I have chosen 190 degree, 70 degree, 40 degree, 180 degree randomly. So this is the requirement of from the customer. Now after this, so now as per this requirement from the customer, again I have drawn the angular position diagram, and as per its calculation, so from this centrifugal force and the couple calculation, if we have constructed the again force polygon or the couple polygon, and if here I have constructed the force polygon. It is clearly seen that, so this O to A to B, B to C, C to D, like this one, then it is clearly seen from this diagram, the last point is not connected to the original point. It means that this is a unclosed diagram, it is not the closed diagram, therefore we can conclude that, so based on this data, so the diagram force polygon is not coming closed, so we can conclude that this condition of this system is unbalanced condition. So from this a theoretical approach or from this analytical approach, we will see the from the experimental approach, so how this balanced condition and how this unbalanced condition will occur. Thank you. This is our experimental setup. You can see here, this is the static and dynamic balancing apparatus. These are the columns. So this is the frame. Now in this frame, so this is again one more frame in which this shaft is fixed between the two bearings. So this is the shaft, we can call this is the shaft, this is the rotating shaft. Now on this rotating shaft, so these are the different masses that already we have seen, that is M1, M2, M3, M4. So these are the known masses. It is in the weight, so in kg, that it is in milligram, okay. 181 kg or 200, so mg, or 200 mg, then 207 mg and 204 mg. So these are, you can see here. So you can see here these weights. So here it is denoted here. So magnitude. Also you can see here. So okay. Now these are now this point. This is called as the CG distance. So from this axis of rotation to this CG. So that is our R distance. So whatever we have written, that is 0.18. So meter. So this is now these are the, now this is the, we are seeing the two condition, that is the balanced condition and unbalanced condition right now. So all these masses I have placed or I have mounted on this shaft at a different positions, at a different planes. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now see, one of the mass is towards this side, while the another counter mass is towards that side. So its directions are exactly, so near about opposite to each other or the counter clock. This is again to that side and this is one side. Now, so these are the different angular position as per the given data from the customer, and according to that angle or as per that angular position, so these masses are fixed. How it is to be fixed? So see, so this is, there is a one scale here, angular scale. You can see here the angular scale. Okay. Now with the help of this angular scale, see our zero, so M2 mass in our theory part we have seen M2 mass is placed at an angle of 0 degree. So see, this is my M2 mass. Now it is placed at an angle of 0 degree fixed. Okay. Now so again these shafts is again, so at its end this is a pulley. Now this pulley is directly connected to this DC motor with the help of a belt. Okay. Now, so this DC motor is again rotated, or its speed will be increased or decreased from this dimmer stat. So with the help of this dimmer stat, so we can operate or we can start this DC motor. Okay. Now this is the, so all these masses are connected as per the given angle and the distances. Already we have seen these four distances, that is it is placed at a distance 0, and then this second one it is 30 distance, then 60 and then 90. So from this distance. So these are the equidistances we have placed for the balanced condition purposes. Okay. Now we will see the experimentally. So as per the customer's requirement, so we have located or we have made the assembly of all these rotating parts on this rotating shaft. And we will see whether this condition is a balanced or not. How it is to be seen? Just I am starting this and so starting this button, slowly, just I am repeating. You can see now our this system. These are the rotating masses which rotates. You can see slowly. You can see. Now after observing what this whole system, it is clearly seen that the system is stable. There is no any vibration will take place. It means that the system is balanced system. Okay. So this is the balanced condition. So because all the masses are placed at a proper angle and at a proper distances. Okay. And that's why you can, so this system will be seen as a balanced condition. So again we can increase its speed with the help of this dimmer stat. So like this one. Now so like this. So for this system complete, so we have not made any foundation, and if we increase the more speed, then it will start to do the vibration. Okay, but just we want to know it's a phenomenon, that is the balancing condition phenomenon. Now, so this is the balanced condition. Now let us we will see the unbalanced condition. How it is to be seeing the unbalanced condition. So just first of all stop this motor, then stop this complete system. Okay, and you can now change the angular position of one mass or two mass, then you will get. So just I am changing its position. So by just removing this one of the mass with the help of this Allen key. Okay. बंद करें. Now initially we have seen the balanced condition. Right now, so just I have changed the position of these masses. Now initially it was at a different angular position. Right now these are at the different position. Now in this condition or at this position, we will see whether our system is a balanced or unbalanced condition. So for that purpose, once again I am starting. Okay, so just I am giving. So I am gradually. Unbalanced condition, because it which vibrates very violently, and that's why we can say that the from the experimentally, so this condition is unbalanced condition by putting the masses at the different angular positions. Okay, so therefore in this way we get the phenomena of balanced condition and unbalanced condition with the help of this experiment. Thank you.